Welcome.
Well, this is it. The game that, thanks to me showing up and Pedro being able to exposit to me about during E3 2015, is now actually a thing. Yeah, apparently apparently us finally meeting have allowed a lot of our dream projects to be realized. Like, seriously. I fulfilled the Final Fantasy fanbase's dream of a 7 remake, Pedro's dream of Shenmue 3,
Deji,
and of
mute.
course this game that we've been waiting for. Actually, that phone's on
Your
my
phone.
end.
Thank you.
No, that's a Jova's.
That's not.
Yeah, that's mine. That one's
Also,
not dead.
Jova's stealing intros again.
No, actually,
Well-
but to be fair, he did ask me to, so...
Oh.
Also,
Anyway.
I noticed you have the game Uno on your menu.
So yeah, Sony Interactive Entertainment presents a game made by Sony's Japan studio.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was Naughty Dog.
This is my game of the year of 2016, The Last Guardian, written, directed, and designed by Fumito Ueda. Who's Fumito Ueda? Basically, much like Nintendo had Miyamoto and Sega had Yu Suzuki, Sony had Fumito Ueda. He created Ico and Shadow of the Colossus, which were, of course, two beloved PS2 classics, and this is, let's say, the third in the Ueda trilogy. In fact, this game had quite a long development. It started development in 2007 and only came out 9 years later.
So, would you say it was worth the wait?
Oh, I would definitely say so, but I'll let you guys be the judge of that. Anyway, let's start the story. And we start with a shield of sorts, or mirror.
Wait. Is this the opening to Captain America: The First Avenger?
Sure.
Sure, why not? And now we see a shadow finding the shield.
The Colossus.
That maybe it's a reference.
And by the way, here's the first thing you'll notice right away. The soundtrack of this game is one of the most beautiful soundtracks put on anything.
Let me check who's the composer.
Takashi Furukawa. I hope I'm pronouncing that wrong. Right, sorry.
You hope you're pronouncing it wrong.
So yeah, what we're seeing here during the opening credits is actually an interesting thing. When coming up with Trico, the creature of this game, they actually took inspiration from various animals, and what we're seeing right now is kind of the evolution of the creation of Trico. Took inspiration
Actually,
from...
that seems like your stereotypical medieval bestiary. Maybe it's taken from that.
No, we have confirmation from Ueda-san himself that it is that.
Oh, okay. Anyway, the composer is Takeshi Furukawa. Yeah.
There you go.
He surprisingly worked on barely anything, only on GoldenEye 07.
The way it happens was, Ueda-san was looking for a composer, and he actually auditioned, and Furukawa auditioned for this game, and the theme that he presented was the one that Ueda liked best. So, and that's how he got the job. And now a griffin, and now combining with elements of a dragon of sorts.
I didn't know musicians auditioned for things like
Phoenix.
this.
And there you go. There's the final design that was used in the game. Designed and directed by Fumito Ueda.
There are actual plushies of that thing.
Oh, I will definitely get one, trust me. And you'll be wanting one after we're done with this. Okay, so what's the story of The Last Guardian? The Last Guardian starts in a very simple way. You're a little boy, and you wake up in this mysterious place, and you don't know how you got here.
Okay.
We're not stuck in a well, are we?
No. Well,
Okay.
actually, we're actually stuck on at the bottom of a valley, and the main goal is to climb out of the valley so we can get back to our village.
So, climbing.
And here's our protagonist. Be among the chosen ones. In my dream, I was flying through the darkness. Our main character here doesn't have a name. He's just the boy. Much like Link from The Legend of Zelda, you're supposed to project yourself into him. He's the link between you and the game. I woke to find myself in a strange cave. And yes, just like the other two games, the way that this game also has a fictional language.
I'll be right back.
And wow, we have quite the company.
Hello.
I noticed with a start that I was not alone. Beside me lay a great man-eating beast, Trico.
The Pokemon?
No, it's this particular type of beast is actually known for being a man-eating beast among his tribe. I did not know how, why, or when it had happened. But my skin was covered with peculiar markings. Where am I? Basically, the narrator, like is the adult version of the boy, and he's the one narrating the story.
So is this like Gravity Rush where they have some weird made-up language?
Yes, it is.
I was just about to...
Because
I thought that I
Gravity
was still
Rush,
dreaming. I believe that I would soon awake.
basically, Gravity Rush has this weird language called Gravinese, which I kid you not, Shuri, is a mixture of
Yeah, she
Japanese
knows. I've actually
and
shown her the game, so she knows actually.
I'm guessing you've taken a shine to Cat and Dusty.
Well, Dusty is there, so obviously she even told me I'm sold.
What about Raven?
And you, yeah, Raven's awesome, but I haven't gotten to the point where Raven shows up. Anyway, this is okay. So right now Trico's not exactly friendly, as you can see. So I guess we better stay away from him.
So what I missed? Sorry, I had to burp.
Nothing really. We were just basically.
So we just stumbled onto this temple with this ancient beast. I guess no one else knows about, or do they know about it?
No. Like I said, the boy just woke up here and he has no idea how he got here.
Oh.
And everyone knows what this thing is.
Okay, so okay, so The Last Guardian is a puzzle adventure game where basically the best way I can describe the gameplay is the game, much like Eco, the first game made by Ueda back on the PS2. The gameplay is basically nothing but puzzles. Basically, the beast was far from happy. It seemed greatly pained by the spears that pierced its flesh.
I know this story from my childhood.
Alright, there's only one thing. Okay, so Trico here actually eats these barrels. In fact, whenever he sees one of these barrels, he becomes incredibly entranced by it.
That's probably not good for you.
As of right now, however, he's not exactly... He's a bit hesitant about accepting food from me, obviously.
Then again, he seems like he's also pot dog.
And by the way,
he'll eat anything.
By the way, pay extreme attention to Trico and his animations, because Trico is one of the most detailed characters ever put in a video game. Every single thing, from subtle ear movements to the way his head moves. Like you will rarely see an animal that's more expressive in a video game than Trico.
Is he like partially playable too?
No. You never have control over Trico. You only have control over the boy, which makes sense.
No, I meant partially playable.
No, he's not even partially.
Are you stuck?
No, I'm not. I decided to help it, to try to pull the spears from its flesh.
The one major complaint I've heard about this game is that Trico's AI really isn't.
It has some problems, but they fixed it with the most recent patch.
And that's from what I heard.
Really?
Trico is supposed to be an animal and it's supposed to behave like one.
Well, okay. Hold on, guys. Can I explain?
More to the fact that the AI didn't even act that much like an animal; it just kind of acted.
Speaking as someone who's played the game already with the most recent patch since the beginning, I can tell you that if you know what you're doing, the AI is fine. In fact, I'm about to prove it in this playthrough because I'll be able to see for this playthrough. I get through the game just fine without any problems of getting Trico to do what I want him to.
It was that kind of AI issue.
I will also.
Yeah, go ahead, Pedro.
I'll just say this, and I'll just say this, and like I said, I'm going to prove for this playthrough that the AI is fine right now, ever since the most recent patch. And the thing you have to realize is that part of Ueda's vision for this game is that this creature has to feel. Oh, hold on. Oh.
Ow.
Yeah, like I was saying, one of the important things about this game is that this creature needs to feel real. And in order for it to feel real, you cannot exactly make it like your typical video game NPC where all you have to do is just snap your fingers and then it will immediately do what you want without even...
Yeah, that's what I seem to... When I have seen some reviews, well, not full-fledged reviews, but like just look-ins at it, and people seem to just expect it to do what they want.
And the thing is, and the thing is,
basically.
and the thing is, this thing has a mind. One of the thing that I love about the AI actually is that the way it's programmed, you really believe that this thing has a mind of its own, but you'll be able to see for yourself as we progress through the game.
So I'm guessing that before the patch, though, the complaints were legitimate, though, and like, well, he didn't even act like an animal; he just did.
I never
Weird
played.
stuff.
Well, I got the game for Christmas, so by that point the patch already came out. So I never actually played the game pre-patch. So I haven't gotten around to. I'll try it myself eventually, I guess. But
Wait, how can you? I mean, well, you don't have to. I mean, it's just like, well, I'm guessing like, well, at some point the complaints were legitimate.
yes,
then.
well, I'm assuming, but like I said, I haven't played this pre-patched. So
Now,
So now
let's
he's
see.
eating those barrels.
Question.
I wonder what was actually in those.
believe it or not, Teo, you will find what's in those barrels, and you're not gonna like it.
Is that like Soilment, that Soilment story, like you
No,
want
no, no,
flesh
no.
or something?
No.
It's dead people, isn't it?
No.
I wonder if it's poison that's slowly killing
The
you.
tears of PC fags.
So-
My offerings appear to have sated the beast's appetite. So yeah, much like the lion with the thing in the paw, take it out. Okay,
Ow.
okay, Trico, you really have to stop doing this because
So,
I started noticing a pattern.
question.
yes.
In terms of like, well, okay. What exactly is the range of how varied your experience can be with this game? Because like, can you like, get all these different reactions out of Trico?
You can.
Or are you still working towards one path and whatnot? Like,
Well, the game is incredibly linear, like much like
Oh, I
in,
get that. I meant like, well, your interactions with Trico and Miko, can they like, well, affect the story plot or anything? Can you like get different reactions out of him that you could actually miss
Hold
here
on.
and there? If you
The-
don't see special things.
the reactions you do get from him don't affect the story per se, but you can get a lot of different reactions from him depending on what you do for the game. Like, in fact, I'm about to show one, just in a moment. A lot of people actually miss this first one that I'm about to do because they're usually just walking around.
Is there an achievement for it? A trophy.
No.
Oh.
Well, there are a couple trophies that are quite interesting, but I'll mention them later. But yeah, so I guess after giving him food and tucking away the spears, now he's a little more friendly, at least.
So is it possible to get like, every single reaction of him, or is it also one of those games that kind of demands multiple playthroughs?
It does. In terms, if you want to get every single possible reaction from Trico, yes, you'll have to do multiple playthroughs, because there's quite a lot of different things, little different things that can happen depending on the situation.
And some of which I guess are blocked off by doing
There,
others.
is that better? You'll see. I'm about to show one actually. So hold on. So yeah, now that I took away the armor that was imprisoned in, there's only one thing missing though. That thing on his head.
Oh.
Ooh.
There we go.
I love the music here, by the way. And now, if you stand still here while he does this, hold on. He's still, yeah. Now the thing from the back. If you stand still while after doing this. Well, more like still. If as long as you don't move away, he will come towards you and thank you.
Oh.
So that's what you look like. Pleased to meet you, Trico. So yeah, and that reaction is optional. If you move away from him after, he will not come to you. But if, like I said, there's a lot of little things like those that can add a lot to the game. And yes, like I said, Trico has pretty much has a mind of its own. A lot of times you will actually notice the way forward before you even do. Because one of the clever things about the AI is that as the game progresses, Trico gets smarter and he starts noticing passages quicker.
Oh, and let me guess, there are multiple pathways. You know, cool. I mean,
Wow,
they're
the new
obviously not
Uncharted looks
big
really
changes,
cool.
The new
But there are like multiple pathways that you can decipher or make on your own.
No. The game is incredibly linear. There's only one solution to every puzzle, and there's only one way forward. The game is more about solving the puzzle. It's not so much about where you need to go, and more about whether or not you can solve the puzzles to get through.
So, in terms of variation, it's basically like, well, are there like different methods you can choose to solve the things?
No. There's, like I said, there's only one solution to every puzzle. It's much like in Eco. Have you ever played Eco?
No.
Oh, by the way, here's the controls. You can pet Trico with the circle button. Go ahead.
But I have played Ghost Trick, so I think I get the idea. You know, like, well, you can do a lot of different things, but only.
He's trying to get in one of the barrels.
Now, I know, Cycle, you keep getting like all those parts where you have two different options. Can those two options ever like garner a different reaction, or is it just like, oh,
you're talking about those prompts?
Now you have to get back on. Yeah, those.
You're talking about those prompts now. Those prompts are just the tutorial prompts. They're telling you what each button does what.
So I guess
if you've ever played a Fumito Ueda game, you already have a good idea of the controls. Fumito Ueda's controls, in fact, Breath of the Wild did this as well, actually. Fumito Ueda has a specific way of how he makes his controls in games. Buttons are mapped to direction, as in X to crawl and triangle to jump. Get it? Up, down. You know, because of X. So the buttons are mapped to direction. Triangle to jump and X to crawl, or crouch, if you will. And the R1 button, like it says right there, is for me to call Trico. At the beginning, I can only call Trico, and he won't always come. Like, again, it's not exact. It's not like, oh, there you go. Looks like he's tired now.
Oh.
Nope.
Okay.
Yes, by all means, take a nap.
He's just a big puppy.
I could go for one right now.
All right. I guess I'll explore without you then.
Wow, this is realistic.
Yeah, again. I can understand why some people would be frustrated over the fact that the AI doesn't immediately respond at first, and there's some times where the creature will prefer do something over what you want. But again, thanks to the latest patch, it doesn't. You have ways to make him realize everything, and like I said, he actually gets smarter and better at following your orders as it goes on. Like a real beast. Like you really feel like you're actually taming a beast. So trust me. It's not. Trust me. With the latest patch, it's much better. Go ahead, Deji.
Well, this is gonna throw speedrunners out of the loop.
Well, this game wasn't really meant for that kind of.
Yeah, well, let's be real. People are gonna speedrun it regardless.
Well, actually, Deji, there is a trophy for beating the game under 5 hours.
In true Ueda Kaido games fashion, because even Ico/Ico has one of them. Actually, it's two, because you can decide. You can. There's one for beating in less than 5 hours, and there's one for beating in less than 2 hours. And for the life of me, I couldn't get that one.
Anyway, for the
How
second.
long is this game without that?
12 hours, more like 12 to 15 hours, basically.
Wow, so you're cutting it down by more than half.
Well, trust me, Shiro, you can see it on YouTube. If you know what you're doing and you know all the tricks, you can do that. Anyway.
Are we talking about this game or Breath of the Wild?
This game. Anyway, just for the sake of Shiro, allow me to say what the narration said earlier. I decided to follow the source of the mist. So let's see what's in here.
And we can call Trico.
In fact, one of the things cool things about Breath of the Wild, it feels a lot like what would happen if Fumito Ueda made a Zelda game, because the architecture and art design of Breath of the Wild is very Ueda-esque. So
you say that, but I forget his name. Amora.
Who?
Aonuma. Eiji Aonuma.
See, what about Aonuma?
He actually said in an interview that he was playing Shadow of the Colossus, and he recently did play The Last Guardian.
What do you think?
Inspirational, I guess.
No.
Anyway, yeah. Hold on. This mirror, with its mysterious light, it was made from a substance I had never seen before.
It was like vibranium.
Yeah. Okay, so what did I find? I found what is kind of an equivalent of the mirror shield from the Zelda games, in the sense that this thing will project some kind of light. So what use does this have? We'll see later.
It seems it's Cold War here.
So I got one important question.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
When do we evolve Trico to a Sceptile?
Never. Sorry.
In the mod that someone's probably making.
Well, actually, that's a good segue. That's a good segue, Deji, because that's actually an interesting thing. One thing you'll notice about Trico over the course of the game is that apparently his species has regenerating healing abilities, as in his body heals by himself.
He can grow limbs.
Even though right now his horns are broken, you'll see his horns growing over the course of the game.
Ooh.
Well, the
I mean,
regeneration process isn't always immediate.
Oh, I wonder, does this story take place over a couple of years? Because I'm guessing it shows aging.
No, it takes place over a couple days, more like.
Oh no, Trico's gonna die, isn't he?
I'm not going to say what's going to happen at the end because
Jova, that's a good segue for me because since Fumito Ueda / Kenji Kaido's games have tend to have a tragic story. Oh, whoa!
Rainbow Eye.
And now he's turned into Garnet in that one episode.
That's some weird shit right there.
So yeah, apparently the mirror means something to him of sorts.
Or he just likes shiny things.
So yeah,
he just blinded the poor bugger.
So yeah, in typical Fumito Ueda fashion, the story is not so much told to you as in you're experiencing it. You're seeing a lot of things are not spelled out for you, and don't worry, the biggest mysteries of this plot will be given great answers, but there are some things that are kept open for interpretation, obviously.
I guess there are some things that it's better that are better to understand on second or third playthroughs.
No, trust me, Shira, you will be able to understand fully the themes of this game on your first playthrough. I'll just say
in that case, another question though.
Go ahead.
Is this like...
Hold on. I know what you're about to ask, but let me just explain this mechanic that I'm about to show. I think I do now, don't I? Oh, okay. Never mind. Go ahead, Jova.
Is this like Ghost Trick, where like, well, after you get to like the gigantic mother, oh my god, plot twist of that game, where upon a second playthrough you go, oh yeah, they were foreshadowing it the whole time. Is it like that with this game, or is this again a game where pretty much like, well,
there is one particular
the fuck?
Yeah, that's what I was about to explain. Basically, whenever the lightning that flew from the beast's tail took me greatly by surprise,
and so did the players and commentators.
Could it really have been summoned by the mirror? So yeah, apparently whenever I point the light of the mirror, his tail will, beam it. So that's it.
Like it's also maybe color-coded as well. Anyway, you were saying, Pedro?
It's not so much a plot twist, but there will be a big revelation in the climax that they have been foreshadowing right from the beginning.
Ooh.
By the way, I love the music that plays here.
Alright, so Tio, before that, you were saying something...
Basically, since Fumito Ueda / Kenji Kaido's games are very tragic, over nature, either the protagonist or someone dear to him tends to die. So, hold on.
I heard these great men eating beasts many times from the Elder. Yet, in spite of the terrifying tales, I felt no fear. None at all.
Unless he's just trying to...
Because I just want to be special and want to have a life outside my village.
Well...
So our protagonist is a Disney princess. Okay.
To be fair, Teo, as we saw, he did thank us for freeing him, so it doesn't seem all that bad so far.
Okay, no, I know. But I'm seeing kind of the cliche of basically this kid rejecting popular knowledge and instead thinking with his own ass.
That's not.
Well, children are more curious in the older generation.
Yeah, that's not what the Jova, not Jova. Well, Teo, I can tell you that's not at all what the story's going for.
Okay, I'm calling you right now. It turns out that the last guardian is actually this boy who's supposed to be a guardian to that one, and the boy is the last of the guardians.
I'm not going to spoil anything because this game is best experienced without any spoilers of any kind.
What I say, Jova, was basically I open again the bet thing. So who do you think is? I actually don't know. So who do you think is gonna die? The kid, the Trico, or both?
Don't kill the puppy.
I'll just say that I'm not gonna say what's going to happen, but I will say this: I haven't been moved by a game's ending like this since Metal Gear Solid 3.
Everyone dies.
What about Metal Gear Solid 4?
That's
You-
more conclusive than anything, Jova.
Well, do you know? Well, Deji, do you know the ending of Metal Gear Solid 3?
Don't say.
No. I'm not saying anything. Don't worry.
Oh,
I'm just-
Troy doesn't know the ending.
I know. Anyway, it turns out Trico is apparently afraid of water.
Aw.
Aww.
Well, water does tend to mess with feathers.
Yeah,
Unless you're a guy.
basically he's kind of a griffin, but also has some attributes of a dog
Cat.
and cat. Yeah, so yeah, obviously feathers and water don't really mesh. So
Well, again.
So
It
you can
depends on
fly.
what kind of bird you are, but yeah, I'm guessing he's the kind where when their feathers get wet, they have trouble
Yeah.
flying.
no. Fortunately, it's not like it hurts him or anything.
Look out below!
Actually, Deji, it's a good way. It's a good thing you asked me that because just like his horns, his wings are also broken. So apparently, something happened to him that deeply injured him. Like his horns are broken. He had spears in his body. So yeah.
Humanity did it, of course.
Humans are the real monsters.
Well, I can tell you. Well, allow me to comfort you and tell you that that's not at all what they're going for.
Wait, what if it
Aw.
turns out? Wait, what if it turns out that this guy's actually the bad guy and he's just lost his memory? And then it turns out when he does regain his memory, we have to take him on in a final boss fight.
Dwips, sorry, Jova, quit. I know you love that game, but come on.
What was he
Okay.
talking about?
I'm not gonna say which game, but you know what I mean.
Oh!
Is it Ghost Trick
Dude,
again?
No. But I completely forgot I was
That
referencing
message
another
me.
game.
Message me what it is.
Anyway,
No, Deji, that would spoil what it is because trust me, I cannot let you know.
Is it
No.
Ace Attorney related?
No.
anyway, if
I
you
don't believe you.
Anyway, go ahead, Pedro.
so yeah, like the game said, climb and descend with the left analog stick. The best way I can describe this game is imagine if Ueda, in fact, of all of Ueda's games, this is in my opinion his very best because
The other way.
Ico was fun. Ico was fun, but it did suffer. It didn't age very well, and it suffered from the fact that the plot was kind of removed at the last second for reasons that are still not exactly clear to us. Shadow of the Colossus.
Removed, like a cut
But
down.
75% of the game was cut out in terms of cutscenes. I mean,
I heard that
Really?
the start of Shadow of the Colossus is good, but the rest of it is
Shadow of the Colossus is a very acquired taste. This game, on the other hand,
I've been told.
one of the main reasons why I think this is Ueda's best game is that even though he keeps the art, his unique vision and artful elements, this game is much more tangible to a wider audience. And not to mention the overall storytelling, I think, is a perfect balance of just the right balance of vague, but at the same time giving you great emotional pathos, as you'll see eventually. All right, Tricos, let's see if he'll come down here for food. And yes, when he sees a barrel, his eyes turn yellow.
Proceed with caution.
Careful not to.
Come on.
Come on, Trico. Well, what if I throw the barrel into the water then?
well, he's part dog, so realistically, he should be diving into that water right now.
Yeah, but feathers, Jury.
I know.
Unless he's part duck, in which case he has no excuse.
So right now I'm just trying to call him here with the R1 button. Trico! And by the way, here's a little piece of a fun fact. Trico is prisoner in Japanese. So that's it. You don't
Does
like
that foreshadow anything?
you don't like water? I'm not gonna tell you anything, Shiori. Sorry.
It probably does.
You're not really good at being vague.
I'm going to assume
I mean-
yes.
Deji, I said just because I'm not saying anything, that doesn't mean I'm confirming something.
By the way, I should
Well,
note
you're definitely
all the
denying
things I
something.
have seen of this. The people who made the videos were careful not to spoil a single thing. So
Yeah. The best
Nice.
review of this game out there that I really like, I think, is the Easy Allies
There we
review.
go.
I think their review pretty much covers things very
Oh,
well.
come on. It is not even...
And now he's going after the barrel.
well, he didn't know how deep it was. To be fair,
Very good.
Towards spoilers, the Guardian is the last one.
Ha.
All right, but anyway, like I was saying, the best way I can describe this game is it's a combination. Imagine if Ueda combined the structure of Eco with Shadow of the Colossus, in the sense that it's like instead of guiding Yorda through a maze, you're guiding a Colossus. Except, fortunately, it's much easier to climb on Trico than climbing on the Colossus.
Well, that's because the Colossus doesn't want you to climb on him.
And the
Yeah.
Colossus is colossal.
Well, Deji, not for nothing, but in trying to climb him earlier, I kind of got knocked out twice, so it's not
Well,
like...
that's because
three times the charm.
Trico wasn't used to you. I'm sure as the game progresses, he will form a bond with the main character.
Yeah, well, that's what Ueda's games are all about. Anyway, as you'll
And
notice
then
right there,
eventually we're gonna have to go all old Yeller on him.
you might have noticed how Trico is not around. That's because you know...
Don't.
Ah, there he is.
That's because he noticed the path forward, so he went towards it. So
Really?
there's
He's a
gonna...
bit creepy with those glowing eyes when he does that.
He's turned into a Heartless, I think.
Well, Jova, here's the thing.
Fuck. Shadow of the Colossus World for Kingdom Hearts.
Again, Jova, Fumito Ueda's / Kenji Kaido games tend to have these balance between mysterious and incredibly creepy as fuck stuff. I mean, for example, when you get down to it, the Colossi in Shadow of the Colossus are just that, gigantic statues with just moves, and yeah, once you're dead, but they're just statues, not real monsters. But despite for that, very incredibly creepy as fuck, and they stare with those fucking eyes.
So yeah, when you look at Trico and the whole way, you can tell why this game took so long to make, because the programming of his AI is borderline.
And even getting on the PS4, yeah.
In terms of making him feel like he has a mind of his own, this is borderline perfect. I have never seen a creature in a game where, and you'll see as the game goes on. And there you go, now, jumping. So yeah,
So he's scripted to do this stuff.
Trico.
Jesus.
Okay, dude.
Well, he was all wet, so.
So it's weird. He's scripted to do stuff, and yet it feels like a lot of these things are kind of varied in a way. Like some of them are affected by your action.
Oh yeah, a lot of it. There's going to be a lot of stuff. Like there's going to be times where he gets distracted by something that happens way beyond in the distance or something like that.
I guess they set the
Hold on, guys, this is
You
important.
can't have my soul.
So basically, he can obviously can't go for this tiny hole. So I guess this is where we part.
Hey, remember when IGN said that The Last Guardian was officially canceled?
I'm not going to get into IGN because I hate them.
Oh, I remember this part. Well, I'm guessing that this is around...
Line incoming, so...
I'm guessing that...
coming. Correct.
Well, this is goodbye. I must go home to my village.
Have fun in the cave, bitch.
Farewell. Well, to be fair, it's not like we have a way to, having fit for that hole.
Mommy, can I keep it?
I wonder if he could break through.
Oh, the fuck?
Yeah, let's bring
Oh.
No! Stop following me!
Why?
Let's bring the man-eating monster
Go
back to the
home.
village. I'm sure that'll go down swimmingly.
Well, honestly, kid, home to him was being chained up. Do you really think he wants to go back in there?
Beautiful music here in a moment.
I smell a trailer shot.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is where we saw that first footage from E3
Actually, no.
2015.
I recognize
No.
that Jovan is not here.
So there you go. We've got a lot to climb, as you can see.
Oh well.
That's another thing, actually, about this game. This game has a fantastic sense of scale. Oh, we had escaped the dank confines of the cave and emerged into a place the like of which I had never seen. Oh, you can't fly? Are your wings broken?
Standing
Yeah.
tall.
On the wings of my dream,
Sorry.
I would not realize. Oh, guys, it's important. I would not realize until much later. But I was now in the heart of the beast's lair, the nest.
I feel as if I should get this reference.
Anyway, yeah. This game also has a great sense of scale, in the sense that as you climb the valley, if you look down, you'll be able to see the very places you've been to. So the game does a great job in making you feel like you're really in a real world and you're traversing through it, because you can always look back at all the places you've been at when you look down.
Jesus.
By the way, Deji, since you asked about the trophies, there's a specific, believe it or not, Trico poops. And if you do watch him poop, you'll get a line from the narrator saying, "I managed to catch the beast in an inopportune moment," and then you and then you get a trophy. And then you get a trophy. And then you get a trophy for it.
Oh, thank God! I didn't know. I thought his head just disappeared.
No, it was just the camera. Anyway, yeah. So tune in for the next part, everybody.
See ya.
See ya.